The purpose of the channel is to unite the people to fight the evil. The evil would be those who try to deceive us and divide us and use any kind of media, whether it be BBC, ITV, Sky, or YouTube, Facebook, Google, whatever it might be. It's all controlled by them anyway. But what we do here is we focus on the protests that happen around the world, but mainly in UK. And what we notice is a lot of people being used over and over for events that, let's say, don't look quite right. So all you have to do is look at some of the videos I've made here and get a bit of a flavour of what we do. We expose what's going on at these events. We see, do they look real? Is there a possibility that they're staged using people who are confirmed actors, possibly? You know, that's what we do here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about someone who's at the top of all of this, really, in a way, believe it or not. So here we have Tʀᴜᴛ. As you all know, the brother of Jeremy Corbyn, the so-called Labour politician. And I'm not into left-wing, right-wing politics. I don't care about politics. As in, I know that they're all elite people who don't really want the interests of the common man and woman and child. But let's move on from that. So he's supposed to be a rebel in that he's the anti-lockdown leader, if you want to put it that way, okay? He's the one who gets arrested over and over and over again, never sees any time. You know, what else can I say? It's like the poster boy would be a ridiculous thing to say. He's more like the poster granddad, you know, of the so-called anti-lockdown movement. But anyway, right? So that's a good picture to show you why he should never be. So, and anyway, who's this and what's he got to do with Tʀᴜᴛ? Well, that's what this channel's about. Okay, so we'll come to that. But what a character. And I just want you to look at that. This contraption here. And note that it's only in one ear. Yeah? You make of that what you will. We'll come back to that. So, let's have another look. So, here he is again. And as you can see, he's got his nice bit of paper there, all highlighted, and even red bits squared, red squares, and a fake banana, which is what you want. But anyway, you know, these things are funny, but when it boils down to it, what they're doing isn't funny, and we're going to come to that. And you know, it's who's he pictured with? Now he's pictured with Santa, yeah, supposedly. And believe it or not, that Santa got arrested as well. And I say arrested, I don't believe it's a real arrest, but you know, there's many videos that, you know, will point you in that direction. Now, here we have him saying that he's running for Mayor of London, okay? Now, I typed in Tʀᴜᴛ Mayor, and, you know, those were the first three results. The first one didn't bring anything, and then you got two. So, on the second one here, Tʀᴜᴛ announces that he's running for Mayor, okay? Now, who is the person that recorded that or uploaded it? Resistance GB, you can see that, yeah? Resistance GB is the one, only out of 2 who's made a video about Tʀᴜᴛ announcing that he's going to try to be Mayor of London, right? The guy that I just showed you with the plastic banana, that one. Okay, so who is this Resistance GB? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Because, you know, if you're a regular on this channel, you'll know exactly who Resistance GB is. He's a character and a half. But let's get straight into it, and boom, there you go. Have a read of that. So that's who he is. So an actual politician, basically, yeah, and one who got suspended over racist remarks, supposedly. Here he is again. As you can see, look, getting right in the face of the police. Is it real? Probably not. Probably not. But there you go. That's what they want you to think, that he's fighting for you. He's, you know, the police are taking our freedom away and he's fighting for us. So that's who that Resistance GB is. Let's have a look here. Here he is getting arrested at Speaker's Corner. And here, you know, there he is there. And here's a picture of him when they put him in the van, and it's just like, oh my goodness me. I'd love a Halloween mask of that, wouldn't you guys? It's just comical. It's just absolutely comical. You know, I'm sorry, it is. So that's Resistance GB. Okay, so he's the one who's promoting him, Piers Corbyn, being the mayor, okay? How many pens has he got in his pocket? Look, guys, three pens in his pocket. He's ready for anything. Good old Piersy Corbyn. So here he is. Here he is being flanked by 3 ladies. Yeah? It looks like, you know, well, I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like the blind leading the blind. It looks like... It doesn't look like he's going to be the next mayor of London from that picture to me. Yeah. Yeah. There he is again. Mayor of London. Potentially the mayor of London. The fighter against the New World Order. He will stop the lockdowns with his impressive chants. And there he is again on stage, which is a very appropriate word, stage. And he's got someone quite interesting looking there next to him, hasn't he? Okay. So I wonder who that is, guys. But yeah, so he stood right next to him there. Okay, well, let's find out who that guy is, shall we? Look, there he is. So this is Trafalgar Square, and that's that guy that was just stood near Piers Corbyn, right next to him, holding his megaphone for him, yeah? So that's him there. Here he is again, separate occasion. You can see him there, looking very angry and snarling in his puffer jacket at the police, right? So that's him on 2 separate occasions. Let's look here, another occasion. This time in the Daily Mail, and here you go, classic pose. Classic pose, stood next to the England supporter. He's got no top on, he's got tattoos all over him, he's snarling at the police. He's basically, you know, exuding that football hooligan look. So that's who was stood next to Piers Corbyn holding his megaphone. This guy here. This guy snarling at the police. Yeah? And it's not the first time we've seen him do it. Okay? When that Resistance GB got arrested, again, he's there swearing at the police as well. Okay? Again, I repeat, this is a guy stood next to Piers Corbyn with the megaphone. Okay? Let's go back to that picture. It's very important you see how these people are all tied together. Okay? There you go. Alright? Piers Corbyn. That guy there, we call him Tapman for obvious reasons. Okay? So that's Piers Corbyn and Tapman. Okay? So that's a connection made, isn't it? A connection between those two specifically. And I've already shown you a few photos of what this Tapman is all about. He's about getting the, he's there so that the Daily Mail can take a picture and they can label the anti-lockdown movement as someone like that. That's what he's there for, okay? He's an anti-poster boy, yeah? The anti-poster boy. And look, here's another picture with him. Another picture with him. So it's not like it's a one-off, guys. This is happening all the time. Why? It's intentional. They want you to be... They want these two to be the face of the anti-lockdown movement. We don't. They do. Therefore, they put them in position of where they can do this, all right? That's what's happening. It's not a coincidence, yeah? Here again, holding the banner, yeah? Holding the banner. Can you see him there with his bright orange bag as well? And who's next to him? That guy I showed you earlier. And we'll come to him in a second, guys. So there's Tʀᴜᴛ holding the banner. Yeah? So Tʀᴜᴛ holding the banner. Yeah? And then what we'll do is we'll come here. So here's Piers Corbyn, yeah, doing this party trick. How useful. How useful against the fight against the New World Order. But yeah, whatever, it's just a gimmick. So let's read this article. Among the crowd of COVID deniers was a scruffy, elderly man with a microphone. Right, so that's how the media have portrayed this guy. Scruffy, elderly man with a microphone. Okay, so they're mocking him basically. Yeah? So it says the Mail today can reveal that the man with the mic was one Piers Corbyn, a key figure in a growing campaign that is targeting hospitals and spreading fear and intimidation among NHS staff. So they're saying he's scruffy, elderly, that he's targeting hospitals, spreading fear and intimidation. That's what they're saying about this guy. That is what the media is saying. Even though the media were the ones who put him in the position, probably. Yeah? So here he is. And look, how are you going to lead the anti-lockdown movement? You can't even organise a shelf properly. I mean, look at the state of that. Come on, are you going to find anything in that? Look at it. It's a state. It's probably done on purpose. Yeah? It's like mad scientist room. Can't even learn how to use a shelf properly, Piers Corbyn, yeah? Goodness me, look at the state of it. And even worse, you know, here it says, disgraceful. Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers slammed for sick COVID conspiracy pamphlet comparing the ᴜᴜᴜᴜ to Auschwitz, right? So that's the trump card when they pull that stuff out, okay? So now they're saying that about him as well. So, you know, he spreads terror, intimidation, and now he's doing that. Yeah? How Piers Corbyn leads an anti-vaxxer movement that thinks jabs are a New World Order conspiracy and chanted COVID is a hoax outside a beleaguered hospital. Okay? So that's how they frame it. That's how they frame it. Okay, Piers Corbyn. Look, there's Tʀᴜᴛ again. Yeah. So now let's get on to this guy here. Okay. We've established a connection between that Tʀᴜᴛ and Piers Corbyn. Now let's establish a connection with this guy here. Okay. Like I said, remember, look at the earpiece. Look at the gormless expression. Look at the unkempt look. He is what is called a discreditor. He's there to discredit the anti-lockdown movement, to make us all look like that. Yeah, that's what represents us. So let's see how we can connect Piers Corbyn to that guy there, shall we? Right, so first of all, we need to know who that guy is, don't we? So, he's called Grey Bleeder, okay? And the reason he's called Grey Bleeder is because of things like this, yeah? So supposedly he got attacked by the police during the London protests, okay? So that's him, Grey Bleeder, yeah? And look, you can see his so-called blood all over the freedom over fear sign. How ironic is that, everyone? He's got a freedom over fear sign, but it's got his blood over it. Yeah? So how do we tie him to Piers Corbyn, everyone? Well, let's have a look. Look, you see him there, right, smoking a cigarette right in front of him. Look, there's the earpiece again. So he's just literally blowing smoke across Piers Corbyn's face to make us look like some, I don't know what. And look, here he is, right? You see him there? You see him there? Right next to him on the stage thing, whatever you want to call this, yeah? And he's so close that they actually literally have to say Piers Corbyn second left, because they don't want you to think that that is actually Piers Corbyn. But there's so much confusion because he's so close, yeah? So, there's Grey Bleeder there, you know, looking great in his Sunday best, making a real effort, you know. And again, like I said, discreditor. And look, that has been reported all in the Jewish news, yeah? So, a connection, yeah? A connection. A connection between Grey Bleeder and Piers Corbyn, yeah? Look, here's Grey Bleeder here. And there's Tʀᴜᴛ. Yep. Okay. So, there's a connection between Grey Bleeder, who is that guy, and there's a connection between Tʀᴜᴛ, that guy, and Piers Corbyn. Okay? So what are the chances that two people who are sort of aligned with Piers Corbyn both get attacked by the police? So there's one supposed proof that he got beaten up by police. That's, you know, that could be fake blood, we don't know. There's special effects all the time going on. Who knows what's real anymore? Yeah? So you got that, and then you got him. So they both supposedly get attacked by police. What are the chances that two people associated with Piers Corbyn both get beaten up by police, supposedly, or struck by the police? And look, here's Grey Bleeder again, doing his usual thing of smoking a cigarette. And look, there, messing around with his earpiece right in the middle of the shot. And as you can see, there's a sign here on the left that says about vaccines, and then you got Grey Bleeder there. So basically they're tying people who might not agree with the CV vaccine into being like Grey Bleeder, this guy in the middle looking like that. Okay, so connected Tʀᴜᴛ and Grey Bleeder to Piers Corbyn. Okay, now let's have a look at something else. Okay, so here we've got this lady here with the red hair supposedly being arrested, as you can see. Yeah, supposedly being arrested not long ago. Now, where have I seen her before? Oh yeah, there she is. So here is someone else connected to Piers Corbyn who has had problems with the police. So now it's this lady here, and she gets arrested by the police. Okay, so what are the chances of that? So now that's three people connected to Piers Corbyn who have had issues with the police during this pandemic event. Okay, and as you can see, look how many police are just surrounding her. You can see her there, the girl with the red hair. Loads of police there, yeah? And where else is she? Where else is that woman? Oh yeah, here. Here she is again. This time right next to Grey Bleeder. So do you see how she's connected to Piers Corbyn and he's connected to Piers Corbyn? So when you get all these coincidences, you've got to start thinking, maybe they're all on the same side and they're all doing these events to scare people into not protesting, into not going out, because they're going to get arrested. Yeah? So to me, these events are state-sponsored acts of terrorism, because what they're doing is they're scaring the populace, okay? They're scaring you that if you go out and protest, that you're going to get this happen to you, yeah? Or you're going to get this happen to you, yeah? Or you'll get this happen to you. Or if you're an innocent young female or female, whatever, yeah, this can happen to you as well. So, you know, what if these people are all doing this with that intention? The intention to fake events to then scare the populace into not going out, into not protesting. That's what the contention of this channel is. That these people are being used over and over for a simple fact that they are part of something to deceive the public. Okay? So, you know, where else would you get someone who wants to be a mayor connected to these kinds of people? You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't say, oh, and here comes Piers Corbyn, who wants to be mayor, and look, here's his staff who got arrested, and here's his staff who got beaten up by the police. It just doesn't happen, everyone, okay? So let's just summarise. So we've got Piers Corbyn, the supposed face of the anti-lockdown movement, who's connected to this guy, Grey Bleeder, who's got an earpiece, basically, and is a discreditor, yeah? Who supposedly gets beaten up by the police, yeah? Here's Piers Corbyn stood next to Santa, who also gets arrested, supposedly. Here he is wanting to be mayor. And who's he promoted by? Resistance GB. And who's Resistance GB? This guy here, yeah? Who, again, looks like he's part of fake and dodgy events. Yeah? So that's who he's promoted by. And again, people connected to Piers Corbyn, like this guy here. Like this guy here. It's just so dodgy. Okay? And it's been going on a while now. Because this picture here. Look. August, yeah? August. So, what it seems like is that they're reusing people over and over and again to fake events, whether it be fake arrests or fake violence, such as this, yeah? And then what they can do is scare the populace to not going out because they will get arrested like this, okay? It's a very simple plan, but unfortunately, they're very arrogant and they just use the same people over and over and over again, yeah? So once you see something over and over again, you have to question it. And like I said, how would you explain this guy to anyone and say, yeah, he represents the anti-lockdown movement? No, because we're not violent. We're not violent. We're good, decent people, okay? So there you go. You got discreditors, disruptors, delayers, yeah? And they're using every tool in the book to try and scare the populace into not going out and protesting, because otherwise they'll get arrested. If old granddad can get arrested, so can I. Yeah? If the harmless lady, the sweet lady, can get arrested, so can I. You see what I'm saying?